Good afternoon. Welcome to a Lavish Conversation with Mika. We're supposed to have Drew and Nonfiction here today. Nonfiction is here, but he's on the other side of the camera because the camera angle just wasn't the best. You know, life just be life and it just happens sometimes. But the good thing about the Lavish Conversations is that they're just lavish conversations, so it's pretty casual. But today, for lunchtime, we're going to be cooking. And what we're going to be preparing is a Tuscan salmon and shrimp pasta. The funny thing about this is I don't really have a recipe for it. So I don't know if it's really Tuscan chicken or if it's just, salmon. Salmon. Did I say salmon in the first place or did I say chicken first? Chicken. I said chicken. So we're making a Tuscan salmon and shrimp pasta. Now I can make things like that now because Dakota is away at college and she's allergic to seafood. So it's one of the things I revel in right now. And London will eat anything. So I'm going to start off with separating my salmon out into some portions here. Drew was supposed to be joining us from the wet band. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it or not. But guess what? We still got to eat. Lunch got to be had. And if Chris does not put his phone down, we're all going to witness a murder today. Because what did I just say? The second you decide to do everything positive, all types of black clouds and negativity are going to come out. Chris is being the black cloud today. If you want to know how, call him. I bet you he answers the phone. I'm just saying. Speaking of which, let's take a quick moment to give a shout out to our new sponsor while we are separating out our fish. I don't think you're supposed to saw your fish like this. But again, I can cook. So my food tastes good. It looks pretty good. I don't know if it looks like it's supposed to look. Again, Tuscan, in my opinion. I'm just African American, working the best I can to feed my family. Now, I hate skin on salmon, so the next thing I'm going to do is take the skin off of my salmon. I try to separate it out first before I do that. I don't really know why. I just do it. It makes it a little easier, I guess, for it to fit in the pan. And when I'm taking the skin off, because I don't know how you take the skin off your salmon, but I put my salmon in a little warm water so that the skin can loosen off. What do you do, Chris?
The skin
do
the
you
best
do that?
part. I eat that.
You like the skin on your salmon? Mm-hmm. Oh, then we have to address some of these scales because I know there's scales on here. There's always scales. I don't do fish skin, period.
It don't be nice and crispy.
I guess. Okay. So we'll do 2 with it on and 2 with it off. How about that? Does that sound like a good compromise? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's put a little water in our pan so we can get ready to get rid of our... Now, I'm sorry my pans don't look all pretty and gorgeous, but, don't judge me, judge your mama. I didn't say I was rich. I just said I can cook, So we're not trying to cook our salmon in this water. We're just trying to take the skin off. So I just cut it on a little warm. On like 2 or 3. And then at the same time, I just touch my knobs with salmon-y hand. But anyway, I'm going to turn on my water also to boil to start getting warm for the pasta. So we don't have to wait on that. Do you rinse gloves or do you just change gloves every time? Yeah, I feel like I should change them. See, this is why I didn't want to use gloves because I wash my hands 9,000 times while I'm cooking. I'm just saying. I don't know about your life, but...
It's cleanly with the gloves on.
Huh?
Said it's cleanly with the gloves on.
I don't know what that word was you used, but I'm going to act like it's a real one, and I'm going to go with it because that's how life works sometimes. So, as we're cooking, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the chat, and Chris will let me know. Can you see the chat, Chris? Mm-hmm. Chris will let me know if any questions come up, and we'll just, have our conversation based off of that. Funny little thing, Mikey locked himself out on the balcony, so it's perfect. He's out of our way. We don't have to worry about him. Now, I am going to take, as I said, the scales off of Chris's pieces of fish because I do not do fish skin, and worse than fish skin is fish scales. I'm just saying. So everybody knows you just go in the opposite direction of the scales. If you don't know, now you know. You see all of that? The question to me is, why do they even sell fish like this? Did somebody need the scales for something? I'm serious. That's a real question.
Maybe they do it to show the freshness. Maybe.
To show how fresh it is? Mm-hmm. We'll serve it live then. Sell it live. Give me a bucket of water. Let me get a pet. Instead, I got to keep buying these beta fish from PetSmart.
Not beta fish though.
Yeah, I go for what I can protect. And the other fish I know will die in this environment. Okay, that's the one, please. And my water's getting a little warm there.
Yeah, I want to see how you do this because I ain't never made this.
What? Tuscan salmon and shrimp? Guess who else has only made it like once?
Oh.
Me. This girl right here. Me. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I only made it like once. That's why I don't even know if it's Tuscan. I might be lying to everybody. If I am, don't judge me. What I say? Judge your mama. That's right. Not my mama. Your mama. My mama did the best she can with what she got. Okay. It looks like we got all the scales off of here. Feels like we got all the scales off of here. I don't understand. Can you explain to me, you people that eat fish skin first?
I mean, you gotta cook it right. You gotta be crispy though.
Well, I mean, I know how to make it crispy, but it's still fish skin at the end of the day. I'm not very big on chicken skin though either. So you just put it in the warm water for literally a couple of seconds. You don't even want because you don't want your fish to start cooking. It just loosens up the skin for you. So then your skin should just peel off once you've left it on there long enough. Guess not long enough yet. A few more seconds there. Now, being a mom and being absent-minded, of course, I've done several times the situation where you put your salmon in this water and then I forget I did that and walk away. So now I just hold my salmon so I don't forget what I was doing. Because I don't know if one of you is one of those parents, but I definitely am. Something else. See how easy it just slides right off?
Okay.
Ha-ha. Welcome to Tamika's show. And little things that she knows. We still got to do the other piece of salmon, though. I probably should have done this before you got here, but I guess since we don't have a guest, it works, right? So it's like a lavish conversation about cooking with Mika, you know? And then my kid has a half a day today, so we still got to eat, you know? So I feel like it's perfect. And it's Friday. It's my flex day, so I don't have to work the regular 9 to 5-er. Look at that. Slide it right off. No issue.
Yeah, it didn't take that long. I thought you had to let it boil or something.
No, I told you don't want to cook the salmon. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. And you know, for anybody doubting or wondering, nonfiction can cook.
I'm okay.
If I could have today, I'd have had him cook instead of me, and I'd have just showed you how to eat because I can do that without effort.
I'm I'm not that nice.
That's not true. So now we're going to go ahead. I didn't cut off my eye, and I don't like to leave my stove just on. So let's cut that off. Hold that out. Okay. Now I can still use the glove because I took it off first, but I don't see. This is just wasteful. I can't. I just can't. We're just going to get another glove.
Well, you should just use it for the seafood then.
No, now I can't do that because now I'm in a habit. You shouldn't have started it. Don't start what you can't finish. You know what I'm saying? But gloves don't cost that much money, so it's not really that serious, honestly speaking. Like, let's not just be nasty. Guess what's in Chris' hand right now, y'all? Guess what nonfiction is holding?
I'm trying to.
Guess what he's holding, y'all? I bet. Anybody in the chat? What they say in the chat?
I'm talking to people.
Who are you talking to?
Who are asking. I told them that it's live.
I bet. Now, when you get a shot of this, Chris, this is important. Now, when you rinse your shrimp, I don't care where you bought them or where you got them. Make sure you don't have the little poop shoot happening, okay? It should be clean in there. You see that cleanliness? That's how your body should look too when you're wiping. That's another topic for another day. But yeah, we don't eat none of the pooper shooters, so we make sure we clean all of that as well. while we are peeling our shrimp. Chris don't even know what's on the camera, so if y'all got a shot right now of my foot, just forgive me. It's not my fault. I didn't make him related to me. His mama did it.
That's who asked her.
That's who. So wait, Aunt Helen, you really messaging nonfiction while we on the live trying to cook? He is not getting a shot of my boobs right now, is he, y'all? For anybody wondering, that was not an intention. I just looked up and saw the phone, straight facing my boobs. Can you please stop texting your mama? Your mama. So.
How do you do the shrimp? Like, does the shrimp go in with the pasta or on the side? How does it work?
I'm actually going to prepare the seafood separately. So I'm going to prepare the salmon, and then I'm going to prepare the shrimp, and then I'm going to prepare the sauce. Is that what you were asking?
Sounds good.
Pretty much. The sauce and the pasta. So I guess maybe this wasn't the quickest of meals to pick, to prepare. But so what we're putting in our pasta is going to be, we're going to do a cream sauce. We're going to have some sun-dried tomatoes and spinach in the cream sauce. If anybody hears Mikey screaming, like I said, he just locked himself out of the house. But he's safe, you all. He's on the balcony. He can't get down from there in case anybody wants to. Don't call Peter on me, all right? They won't care. Go ahead.
So what's up with the book you wrote?
I did write a book. My book is called Thank God I Didn't Kill Myself. It's a guide from self-care to self-love. And I wrote it initially. I was inspired because I went to a retreat, a mindfulness and meditation retreat, after I buried my son 2 years ago. And when I went to while I was at the retreat, we were at the closing ceremony, and someone asked me, well, not someone, sorry, the leader of the retreat, his name is Atai. He asked, if you all were to write a book about your life from this point, up to this point, what would you call it? And then if you were to write a book from this point going forward, what would you call it? And I said, if I wrote a book up to this point, I would call it It Is What It Is, because your life is what it is. Whatever happens, happens. Like if Chris won't put down the phone, he just won't put down the phone. If you have to switch your gloves 28 times, you just have to switch your gloves 28 times. Whatever happens, will happen. So I called it It Is What It Is. And then he said, if you wrote a book from your life, about your life going forward, what would you call it? And I thought immediately, the thought came to me, thank God I didn't kill myself, Not just like, thank God I didn't kill myself, like, thank God I didn't, succeed in the times when I was in my darkest moments and wanted to, per se, kill myself. But thank God I didn't kill myself, even, like, I didn't stop what I was doing and just, like, lay down and kind of play possum. Like, I think a lot of people, unfortunately, get complacent in life, We were just talking about on the 640 Live podcast every Wednesday at, 5 o'clock now. It was at 6 o'clock. If you haven't caught that, please catch it on the We Are Go-Go Music page. It's on wearegogomusic.com. But on the 640 Live podcast, we talk a lot about passion and how your passion for certain things keeps you going in life, And sorry, I'm putting some olive oil in the pan so that I can start with the salmon here. I'm just going to cut it on 4.5. I don't know what that is. I would say like medium, probably, almost medium.
Medium.
Well, 4 or 5. So 5 is like in the middle. So medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You say that.
You said I can say that?
I concur.
You concur. Okay. Now, my salt, I need to add a little salt and pepper. And I'm going to add onion powder because I'm not going to saute my onions yet. So I'm going to add onion powder, salt, and pepper. Oh, and you can't forget the Old Bay. No Bay? You can't forget the Old Bay? So I'm going to add those. I'm not a pink sea salt type of chick. I'm a straight iodized salt.
I never use pink salt. The pink Himalayan.
Yeah, pink. I use pink Himalayan sea salt in my bath.
So what does that do?
In my bath?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's deionizing. It reduces blood pressure, but at the same time increases your blood flow. It's good for a lot of things. It's good for detoxes. So, all right. So we put salt. We're going to pepper. I hope that didn't look like a lot of salt because I really am guilty of not using a lot of salt. Actually, I have a very light seasoning hand. I would rather need to add to my food than have to explain why I am in the emergency room with my heart condition or my stroke, because I followed my family traditions all the way from slavery and never switched them up. I'm just saying, when you know better, you do better, right? So
Facts.
I just try to do a little better because we know a little better. Again, onion powder, which is now all over my floor. That's great. Mikey, everybody on the live knows you're locked out the house. And nobody seems to care, honestly.
What are some things that motivate you?
That
keep you going, you know what I'm saying? Especially after the book, knowing what the book was based on, how it was birthed, you know what I'm saying?
Some of the things that keep me going are just what started the book, in all honesty. Since the death of my son, I am very intentional about being positive. So even when I'm getting frustrated, even when I'm going off, and I think you can attest to this, Chris, because I go off on you probably more than anybody else that I go off on. But I try to still like laugh through it or I try to calm myself down consciously. You know what I mean? And even like, don't get it twisted. Like I said this before, the second you decide to be positive minded, positive intention, goal oriented, on a serious note, you'll find agents of chaos coming for you, left and right. And the fact of the matter is just even Saturday, I think it was, there was like somebody like yelling at me, talking to me crazy and stuff, and in front of my kid. Now we all know, I'm just saying, I said I changed my recipe up. I took out a cup of Nuckify Buck, ever since my son passed. I really did. And I added in a cup of kindness. I tried to add a little tablespoon of patience. I don't know if that leaked out. I probably spilled a little of that, but let's turn this up a little bit now because we're about to add in the salmon real quick. So we want to turn that up so we can make sure we get the crispy skin that Chris is talking about. And then we'll turn it back down from there because we don't want to, cook it too fast.
So you would say you use positive affirmations throughout your day?
Not even positive affirmations. It's literally staying steadfast in my mindset that I'm going to be positive minded. You know what I'm saying? So when something negative does come my way, I literally have to say in my mind, like, I'm okay. Sometimes I say it out loud. Mm-hmm. And yes, the onlooker might think I look crazy, but I'm like, I'm good. I'm calm. This is okay. I'm all right. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I talk to myself, you know what I mean? And yeah, recenter myself. So we're putting the skin down in here. Sorry, excuse me. We're putting the skin down so we can get that sear on there. We have the olive oil in there. You see it shrink up a little bit? My cast iron skillet. Got that from Miss Mildred. If you don't know about Miss Mildred, better check her out. Just saying. She's still looking for her lunch. But yeah, so I just try to stay positive minded. I'm not gonna lie, it's not always the easiest task because people don't, like to see people positive for some reason. It's like seeing somebody happy will make people get so defensive and so, into their bag, and it's very weird, honestly. Let me get past you and get a piece of another knife, please. So I just want to give a shout out to the Dollar Tree, okay? Because I got these knives from the Dollar Tree, and yes, it is the Dollar Tree. That's how you know it's ghetto, because the name is the Dollar Tree. Ghetto people put the word "the" in front of all places that don't have it in there. But so these knives from the Dollar Tree, though, they are amazingly sharp, like really good. So think about it. Even if they don't stay that sharp, like, you could just get another set for $1.25. Mm-hmm.
30,
saying.
35 with tax, right?
Oh, I don't even
ain't it?
know.
I don't know, something.
I'm sorry, I'm a baller. I didn't pay attention. But wait, I just messed up your salmon. See, this is why I don't use the thing. Look, everybody look at this. This is real life right here. This is why I don't use the, what's it called? Keep the skin on too. You see how all this skin is stuck on my pan now?
Yeah.
Because I turned it up trying to make sure it got crispy for crisp. Now instead, I just got a piece of salmon stuck in my pan.
So good.
And you know you're not supposed to wash your, your cast iron skillet. Well, unless you got kids like me. In which case they probably stay burnt up. So you constantly have to rewash them and reseason them. Look at this. This is a mess.
It's gonna be good though.
Oh no. Food don't have to look good to taste good. No, don't follow me around here to your phone. I'm on to some.
I'm working, yo.
On what?
I'm working for the show.
No, he's going to get fired. Y'all ever seen somebody fired on set?
I'm working for the show.
Okay, I'm gonna have to turn this down. Sorry, Chris. Your skin is done. I'm taking it out. You're just not gonna have skin on your salmon because it's against my religion at this point. So I'm taking the skin off of your salmon because again, it's been heated, so it's easy to come off. So, all right.
So what would you say to somebody about
what?
About how to start living and not just existing.
Well, okay, so back to me writing the book. When I was, when I said that, I would write a book and it would be called "Thank God I Didn't Kill Myself," it really brought to my mind the fact that anything that I experience, anything you experience, we're not the first people to run into that situation. So not only are we not the first people to run into it, we're not the first people to survive it, and therefore there are people that have survived it and thrived after it. And so those people are no better than you or I. Like you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and so am I. So therefore, yeah, you have to keep that in mind. Again, I guess it is kind of a mantra because you do consistently remind yourself that, like, yeah, I'm just like everybody else, and other people get mad. Mm-hmm. It's just about how I respond to it. Other people get, disturbed or bothered. It's again how you respond to it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
So would you say like living is going after your heart's desires, passions?
I would say living consists of whatever makes you happy. It doesn't even, I feel like you do have to have passion in your life in something. You know what I mean? Whether it be laughing, I'm not saying you have to be a part of the arts or, anything like that, but whether it be laughing, making somebody else laugh, making somebody else smile or be happy. Like you have to have something that drives you, something that feels like your purpose in this world. So once you start living in that truth or in that aspect of things, it makes it a little easier. When you wake up in the morning, you might feel tired, but you don't want to say, I'm tired. As soon as you say, I'm tired, you're like kind of giving credence and giving permission to yourself to give up for the day, to kind of take it a little easier, to, not give it your all, not keep trying to be positive. You already have a reason to be negative now. So I'm going to cut up half an onion, though, because, well, I use onions and everything, so. That was not half. Look at this cutting. Y'all see that? But you know what that means? I already started cutting half the onion, so I could cut some more. Okie dokie. Because in case anybody was wondering or thought for a second mistakenly, I am not a chef. I am simply a woman who likes to eat and prefers good food. Anybody feel me on that? What? Could you all hear Chris?
They can't hear me, man. We good.
So who do we have on here? Do we have anybody on the line with us right now?
We got 3.
I said, who do we have? I was gonna say hi.
How can you say who is who? I don't know how to see who's who.
It's
It just
funny
shows
too.
you three.
It's funny though. Grief is really crazy because the fact of the matter is, no matter how much I try to escape it and move past it, you can't escape your feelings. So I still run into the situations where little moments happen, and it can be crazy little moments. And it can be the littlest thing. It'll make me think of my son, and I might get sad for a moment, but I have to consciously, like, redirect myself, so that I'm not, giving into it. So I'm not giving it more power,
Mm-hmm.
and instead I'm reminding myself of that positive space that I want to be in. You see how much better my pieces of salmon without the skin work compared to Chris's pieces with that he wanted his raggedy skin on. No
Mm-hmm.
shade on his skin, but you feel what I'm saying. Y'all feel me.
Hmm.
Y'all feel me. But so anywho, yeah, I think it's really important though that you have to be very intentional because, like I said, the smallest thing can happen, and I'll get so sad real quick, and I'll just have to like redirect myself, especially because I still have a kid in the house, and not even just the one in the house, but I have four other children, daughters, so, and I don't want them to feel sad for no reason or down for no reason. Anybody that knew me, or thought they knew me even back in the day, would definitely say I'm a very maybe confrontational. Like if I see something, I say something type of person. And I mean, maybe that wasn't confrontational. It wasn't my goal to be confrontational, definitely. But what I've learned, especially since my son passed, is how important my peace is. And because my peace is so important to me, you're not going to get, that confrontation out of me. Like if you say you're going to do something and don't keep your word, I'll just keep it moving. I also learned um, life is automatically going life, no matter what you do. Like you don't really have to do anything to make it life, make life rough or anything like that. So therefore, you have to kind of be intentional about the fact that you want to have good days. You want to be positive. You know what I'm saying? This girl told me that I was like I act like the kids. I don't know if it's because you're around the kids so much. You act like the kids sometimes. And at first I took it as an insult, and then I thought about it, and there's nothing better in my mind than to be childlike in your
Childlike.
approach, right, to life. Like life is already serious enough. You know what I'm saying? Without trying to at all, I wake up as a grieving mother. Without trying to at all, I wake up and bills have to be paid. How about you? You know what I'm saying? Without waking up automatically, I have to take this person that place. I have to be this place, pick up this, do this.
Mm-hmm.
Responsibilities are piling up. So the last thing I need to do when I wake up is say, let me try to act more like a grown up and find some problems. Because when you think of adults, not to be like that, but you don't really think of, oh, I get to stay up late. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you were little, yeah, you were like, wait till I get older. I can't wait till I'm grown. I'm going to stay up past 9 o'clock. Forget my 9 o'clock bedtime. I'm going to be up all night. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep when I get ready too. Whole time you didn't know you were going to grow up, and 9 o'clock was not only going to be your bedtime, it was going to be your chosen bedtime. Okay? Somebody call you at 9:30 and you got an attitude now. Meanwhile, your mama was saying go to bed at 9:30, when you were 12 and you were thinking she was crazy. Just saying. But again, that's just perspective, right?
Yeah. Perspective. You think you're being intentional about going after things you want to do at this point in your life?
I definitely think I am, especially when it comes to, even like you said, with the book and everything. I read a post or a quote or something. I don't know. I'm assuming if it was a post, it was a quote, right? But I read this post where somebody was saying that That person might have, come out with their podcast, and it might suck, but they only, at least they did it.
Mm-hmm.
That person might have came out with a book and it was only 2 pages, but at least they wrote a book. You know what I mean? And so that rang you home for me, or really, hit home for me, because the fact of the matter is, life only happens one time. And the longer you sit around waiting for things to be perfect for you to move forward, the less likely that you're going to achieve any of the goals that you really have set for yourself out here in life, Like, sometimes you just got to do it. Like, get started. If you want to start modeling, get dressed, boo. Start walking. Right. You can record yourself right now, and whole time you could be an IG model by the end of the week. I don't know. If you want to start making music, go online. You can download an app. You can download whatever on your laptop, your computer. Most schools give you a laptop, and then you all are on there like logging on to all types of stuff anyway. Record your radio, record your song, put it out. You know what I mean? Just go ahead and get it out of you, though. If you want to paint a picture, paint the picture. Start a business. I'm telling you right now, this is my message to you. Today is your day to start the business. Write the book. Go ahead and plan the vacation. Go on the adventure. Guess why? Because tomorrow is not promised. You might not be here tomorrow. The place you're going on the vacation might not be there tomorrow. What about the Czech versus the Czech Republic? You know what I'm saying? Look what happened there. If you didn't go visit that place, you're short. It doesn't even exist anymore. I'm just saying. What if you wanted to go to Israel and you didn't go? Now you can't go this week, can you? It's not a good week to travel there, is it? So again, like, today is the day. Whatever it is you want to do, get out there and do it. Don't hold yourself up, because life only happens one time. And yeah, it's not about existing in it. It's about really living it, and taking full advantage. Imagine being on your deathbed and just sitting there surrounded by a bunch of what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
That's
not how you start, it's how you finish, right?
How you finish,
just what you
or
said.
Is it the actual journey, though? I think it's the actual journey.
Yeah.
More so than how you finish. Yeah, the in between. It's that dash in the middle. I know everybody's heard about that. When you get to your obituary, you have that beginning date, you have that end date, and then you have that dash in the middle. That dash in the middle is what we're in right now. That's what really counts. That's what really matters. Yeah. So if you want your dash to be a positive dash, then you better live positive, because we don't know how big the dash is, do we?
Nope.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think sometimes I struggle with trying to get everything perfect sometimes, and I talk myself out of that.
Do you ever think about the fact that you're your biggest critic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. I know I am. And I think sometimes that slows me up.
It slows you up, because think about how many people are out there that we personally can listen to and say, oh yeah, they suck. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But while they suck and they don't even know how the most rudimentary skills to playing the drums or the guitar or rapping, they don't even know what 16 bars is. Okay? But they out here like, oh, I'm going to spit a hot 7 for you. I'll spit a hot 9 for you. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? They'll spit these bars, and when they go viral and you're watching them and you're like, they suck. How are they out here? Right. You can't really turn up your face like they suck, because guess what? They did the work that you weren't willing to do. They stepped out on faith. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that's a word for you right there. These kids who may or may not have had examples like that, because most of them don't come from parents that are in the industry or anything. Right. And then they turn around, and just so you know, my salmon is really low. I'm not like cooking the heck out of the salmon, and it's thick. So you want to make sure you're cooking it all the way through, because it's salmon, but we don't want to eat it raw. No shade. It's not a sushi dinner. It's supposed to be Tuscan. Whatever. Can somebody Google what Tuscan is for me, so I can find out what's going on with this story that I'm giving? Because yeah, look it up for us, Chris, because I don't even know what Tuscan means. I just thought it sounded good, And I'm gonna go ahead and cut my noodles on, because we know shrimp doesn't take long to cook at all. So the longest thing in this meal is probably the salmon. Noodles take a few minutes. The spinach is going to melt. What's it called? Wilt down really quickly. The shrimp will be quick. Yeah. And then the sauce. That's about it. But yeah, I think it's very important to be very intentional, and I think too often we forget about that. like we're all chipping in on each other, you know? We're all
Mm-hmm.
stronger together. So if you, I don't know, have a podcast and your friend is trying to start a podcast, instead of you trying to compete with your friend, if you're talking about the same things, why don't you get together and do your podcast together? Or maybe you could not gatekeep and you could clue her in or clue him in to
Gatekeep.
you know, people are always gatekeeping. Have you ever run into a gatekeeper?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to, let me tell you the first gatekeepers. The first gatekeepers were back in the day when you see somebody, you like, ooh, those shoes. Where you get those shoes? And they be like, I don't even remember. Y'all remember that? Those were the first gatekeepers. Those gatekeepers have grown into adults, and they're now the people that are like, you're like, oh, you started a business? Well, how'd you do your LLC? And they like, I don't even remember. Or you're like, who designed your t-shirts? How'd you get them printed? And they're like, I mean, I would tell you, but then I have to cue you. You know, those things.
Yeah, it's corny.
Those people, yeah, corny, exactly. But when they do it, you can't even tell them they're corny. You just like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, it's just like your negative friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have those friends that only call you literally to dump their negativity in your lap. And you're sitting there and you're trying to be a good friend, but you're not practicing self-love or showing your self-worth because you're stopping everything you're doing that's productive, that's active, that's, you know, actually making a change or making an impact, a positive impact in the world or the people around you. And you're stopping all that to absorb negativity from somebody else's world. We all have negativity in our world. That doesn't mean you have to give credence to it on that type of level, you know?
Helen Butler just said competition. They don't want to see you succeed.
So let me tell you, I heard this thing from TD Jakes, right? So he said that you should not have too many friends that are in the same field as you. So if you are, I guess, let's say a recruiter, right? Mm-hmm. You shouldn't have nothing but recruiter friends because your conversations start to be competitive. And you know, I've had friendships like that where I've seen that, like straight up. I've seen people who I'm just excited and I'm like, wow, my job sucked last month. You know, it's so great. I got a new supervisor. My job is awesome. She said, oh, I'm going to give you a raise 20 times over and you don't even have to work but one day a week and you don't even have to come in for that. And I tell my friend that and they're like, well, my husband said that, you know, if I want, I could quit my job tomorrow and we could live in a box. I mean, a nice box though. You know what I'm saying? On him, he got everything. And it's just kind of like, okay, what was the relevance? But it's that competition. It's that, like, just like you said, people feel like they have to be on the same level when that's not, it doesn't indicate the level for me. How much money I make doesn't make me better than you. You know what I mean? How much money I make doesn't make me sleep better than you or anything, honestly. Like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've seen some people in some very precarious situations knocked out, sleeping soundly, phone on do not disturb if they had a phone, you know? Whereas a lot of us in, you know, better situations are going to sleep with worries or with our brains racing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some of us got to take medicine to go to sleep, got to take medicine to get back up. And even if that medicine is just a cup of coffee, you know what I'm saying? It's a real situation. But so, yeah, we were just having this lavish conversation real quick. We're finishing up the salmon, about to take that out and then go ahead and add in our garlic and make our sauce and everything. For our adding our garlic and our onions and make our shrimp, and then make our sauce.
So this was Tuscan.
What's Tuscan mean?
I guess it's
an hour into this. What does Tuscan mean?
They say it like all Italian cuisine, Tuscan cooking is based upon using the most fresh and simple ingredients of the season, including many cheeses, vegetables, and fruits.
Well, we have what do you call it? Fresh. We have fresh meat.
I thought it was based on the sauce. That's what I thought it was.
Okay, so
I don't know, but maybe
we're not going to discuss that because apparently we were wrong. Well, okay, so listen, it's black Tuscan.
So say what is considered Tuscan food? Crostini.
Crostini?
Panzanella.
I thought crostini was just toast.
Truffles.
Truffles.
Yeah, I guess like truffles. Like
I feel like I should change the name of this dish.
nah.
Anybody? All right, so we're doing the onions now. We're going to turn this down to low because we don't want our onions to burn. And then we're going to add some garlic. It said it needed 4 cloves of garlic, but these are like big ASS cloves of garlic. I don't think it needs 4 of these. But I like a lot of garlic, so maybe. What you think, Chris? We're eating it. Input?
Garlic.
Last time I gave you input, though.
Garlic is the way to go.
All 4 of them?
Yeah.
Let's do all 4. I mean, we do have fresh ingredients, though. Everything is fresh. We even have fresh pasta from whoever that is. The refrigerated section of the grocery store.
Butoni.
Yeah.
Is that what it say?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Fettuccine.
Yeah, that's the important part, that it's the right size. It's fettuccine. So we're cutting up this garlic a little bit, a little something for the people. Because you can't have shrimp without garlic. I'm just saying. That's some real talk there. So Helen Butler, have you ever made any Tuscan dishes that you knew of?
She ain't made no Tuscan dish.
How you know?
That's my mama.
You don't know what she made? You know what she was before she was your mother? A whole person.
Right.
Isn't that crazy to think of?
Mm-hmm.
On a serious note, she had a whole life before you were even thought of. She was out here. I'm sorry to break it to you, don't judge me. She was out here clubbing.
I doubt that.
She probably went to like 2 clubs. I think she went to 2 clubs.
I think she probably went to more of a.
You think y'all think she went to 2 clubs?
An adult club, like remember the classic?
I don't think she went to the classics. Really, I don't think they were probably even open yet.
That's the joint that was over. Where it used to be at?
Where do we think she was partying?
Close to Andrews or something.
Let's start there. Where was she partying at?
I've seen pictures of her in that place.
At the chateau or the classic?
The classic.
Not at the chateau?
No, she had a party there, I think.
At the chateau?
She said she hasn't been to one.
So what? You never been to a club?
No club.
Are you trying to tell us that is for Jesus' sake, or is that the truth?
She probably been to a lounge.
You been to a lounge?
That's what the classic was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but so was the wasn't the whatever the one I said, the chateau? Wasn't that a lounge too? No, that was probably a club. But for those of you who don't know, who aren't from the DMV, yeah, these are different little spots that the hanger-outers, I'll say, in the previous generation attended. This is a lot of garlic, Chris.
Okay, then. Just do what you got in there.
I'm doing it. No, I'm putting it in there. It said 4, you said 4. We're going to do 4. But I do not want big hunks of garlic. It has to be fine. Oh, why didn't I use the garlic press? It's right there. That would have been so much easier. 2 points for Monday morning quarterback.
Never heard that.
You haven't heard of the Monday morning quarterback?
Uh-uh.
What? That's the person that can tell you all the things that were wrong with all the plays you made. All the stuff you should have done. Those are the people that when you come out with your 2-page book, they're going to be like, oh, but it should have been 4 pages. Or, but you spelled the word Smith wrong on page 10. I don't know.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Huh? Yeah, that's the Monday morning quarterback. They tell you what you should have done. Because everybody can tell you what you should have done after you do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right, our water is boiling for our pasta just as we're putting our shrimp on. I think that's probably good timing. What you think?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the kicker about me using this one pan, see, I'm trying not to make a bunch of dishes because, as I said, I have a child and with me having a child, it means that I don't wash dishes. Okay, the kitchen is not the area I have to clean, except when I have to go behind them and say, that's not how you clean this. This is how this is supposed to look. But outside of that, yeah, I don't do the kitchen. The kitchen is for the kids to clean, or the dishes are rather. It's so that when you come to their houses in a few years, when they get older, you won't be like, ew, I'm not drinking out of that cup. You know?
Helen, Helen said she had a surprise birthday party
Where?
at what used to be a club. Well, you ain't say no name, huh?
Yeah, at what used to be a
That's what I said. It
club.
was the classic, right?
Sound like it still was the club, and you just don't want us to know about it.
You
I was
have? Do you
finished.
have any regrets in life?
Me?
Yeah,
Do I have any regrets in my life? Nah, I don't. I feel like life is made to be lived. So
yeah.
mistakes and all, like it's funny because I remember when I was younger, my dad said that I would cut off my nose to spite my face, right? In your face, you don't really need the flesh part around it. I don't. Something else my parents taught me is you can say or do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of have to be willing to accept the consequences, you know? And so, therefore, yeah, I stand 10 toes down on whatever I say or do, you know? And whatever consequences may come behind it, I guess I'll take those too, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I don't really do regrets. How about you? You have any regrets in your life?
Nah, I mean, I used to kind of feel like um, that I did, but now that I'm different outlook on life, now I'm like, nah, 'cause I still got time.
How
You know,
about that?
you know what I'm saying? Like time
Although you
is
don't
not
know
up.
how much time you have,
Yeah,
but
but I know
wait,
that I'm not dead. I still got time, so to
so
do.
that's why you don't have regrets because you have
Yeah, 'cause I
time?
got time to do what I know I want to do, and I'm gonna do it this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, like you have a plan in action for what
Yeah.
you want to do. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I believe in just, yeah, if you want to do something, do it. Don't, hold off. The longer you wait on it, you're just waiting for somebody else to come up with your brilliant idea and do it themselves,
Right.
you know? And then who does that serve? How does that help? You know? Oh, let's take a second real quick before we forget though and give a shout out to our new sponsor. Our new sponsor, the ministry department. If you don't know who
Hey.
they are, check them
Hey.
out.
Can I put the website in the
Everybody
on
get
the
your
comments?
screenshot. Yeah, put the website in the comments in case anybody wants to check out any merchandise. We actually have a special going on right now. It's 20% off of all the merch, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the next 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days left.
3 days left. It's 3 days left in it. You don't want to miss this, definitely. Like it's some really
Got
cute
hoodies, got
tees,
crew
some
necks,
cute
some tees
hoodies
in there,
for women and
some
men,
tote bags.
girls and boys. What's the website? Let's say it for them too, in case anybody's listening that they can't.
Championsleague.com. I want to spell it for y'all so y'all can get it right instead of trying to guess.
So, what's the mission of the Champions League altogether?
Champions League is actually a organization I started back in 2018, and it's basically just a collaborative group. It's basically collaborating with entrepreneurs, young artists, anybody who has any type of passion and dream and desire to use their gift at a high level. It's all collaborative, basically. So um, it was birthed out of just wanting to like help people, help artists, help younger artists, and I believe God gave me that vision, to like work with people.
What made you move on it instead of holding yourself back and waiting for somebody to, do it with you?
Because I believe that I gotta start it first. I have to start it. Like it's my baby. God gave it to me. He didn't give it to nobody else.
That's a good point about the whole when you have a dream.
Mm-hmm.
You have a dream, nobody can see it but you.
Yeah. So
maybe it's your job to make it into a reality for other people to see it.
Right. So I have to start it, and just trust that He's gonna bring the right people along the way to help nurture it.
If you really think about it, when you look through the Bible, when you look over, the stories, like everything that we've seen. If God calls you, doesn't He always supply everything that you need to take care of whatever He called you to do?
Yeah, but I think we get in that way sometimes. Yeah.
You said what?
I think we get in our way in the way sometimes because we think it need to be done at that moment.
Our way.
And sometimes, well, most of the time.
No, I don't think it's at that moment. I think we think that it has to be our way. And so we start trying to perfect it. Because I think if God tells you to move, He means move now. I don't think He means move, but in a few years. You know what I'm saying? Because if that's the case, He would have told you that in a couple of years. He wouldn't have told you now. So you could just sit around thinking about it.
True. But I have had incidents where it's like God will give you something and you don't know what to do with it yet, too. Like you just know He gave you something. That happened to me a couple times.
But when it's time for you to do something, you'll know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Like even with the Champions League, I didn't know what. I just know I had a name.
But what if it's even? So with that, you just had a name at first, right? Mm-hmm. And then you went, oh wait, for everybody paying attention, I added salt to my water. My water's at a rolling boil, but my pasta only takes 2 minutes. So I really want to finish up the shrimp and remove it, so I can start working on the sauce in the 2 minutes that the pasta takes to cook. You feel me? Because we're not using our standard box pasta, although we have that too. I told you, this is an urban household, so we keep it on. I don't know where it is, but we have fettuccine in a box. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me. And for our sauce, normally you use half and half or a heavy whipping cream to make the sauce, but instead I'm using this organic coconut milk because I've decided to go with a not dairy free, but dairy light option, because it's going to be the coconut milk and the Parmesan cheese to make the sauce. Oh, and the sun-dried tomatoes. Don't forget those. Sun-dried tomatoes give a very interesting taste to something. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I feel like when a recipe calls for them, you have to use them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even if you use just a little bit, but you have to use them for the flavoring. So I'm going to turn this fire down to low, and I'm going to take my shrimp out of here so I can make my sauce without overcooking my shrimp. Because guess what nobody ever said they liked? Rubbery shrimp. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the blank. I don't know what you heard, but so after I take the shrimp out, then I'll go ahead and add the pasta to the water there. So this is a good meal. I mean, I don't know if this was the simplest meal. It's simple does it seem simple? This is simple, right?
Yeah, it seems pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Like, I mean, you see my salmon didn't stay together or anything, and who really cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to still look great because it's going on the top of pasta. So really, it's the shrimp and sauce. It's the sauce situation, But I was saying, I think this is a good meal that you can make really simply for your family. Maybe you could minus the shrimp, or you could do shrimp and chicken even. If you wanted to do something, I mean, salmon isn't too expensive, but I don't know where your pockets are. I don't count other people's dollars, Something I try to practice nowadays. So I'm going to add my pasta into the boiling water. I'm going to reduce the heat. And I'm going to put it on my timer because I'm going to forget. So I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes. Because that's all it apparently takes. It's very peculiar again. All right, now for our sauce, we're going to go ahead and we're going to slice up some of these sun-dried tomatoes. Ew. So let me tell you
So
guys.
Helen says her regret. She had a regret of marrying the wrong person, basically, in her past.
But so check this out. Well, you learned something though from marrying that person in the past.
Yeah. Yep.
And I have to remind myself of that. I mean, because I married the wrong person too. But the person I married, like I got some great kids from him, you know what I'm saying? We have some great little, memories and things that I learned, along the way. How to bob and weave. I'm just saying. How to bob and weave, you know what I'm saying? But no, seriously, I learned some very, integral things. We had some interesting experiences together that I definitely won't forget, Not just the bad ones, though, some good ones. So while we don't this is me cutting up the sun-dried tomatoes, just so you all know, because again, they have a very strong and powerful flavor to them. So if you're not like the biggest fan of them, you don't want to just throw whole sun-dried tomatoes in your food. So I'm gonna do like 3 or 4 of them. What you think, Chris? Or are you a big fan of sun-dried tomatoes?
Yeah, they good.
I said, are you a big fan?
I mean, do you? Go
eat
ahead.
Anything.
Right.
It's Chris. He'll eat it. He'll eat anything. He's our Mikey of the family. I think that's a good thing, though. I wish I ate more things. There's somebody I want to have on my show. His name is Travis. I can't remember his last name right now. Shoot. But his name is Travis, and he does uh, something with like allergies and stuff. Okay, my pasta is not going. I think I'm supposed to get it back to a boil first before I do the 2 minutes. Yeah. I reduced the heat, but the boiling stopped, so I reduced it too much. So let's boil it for 2 minutes, but it's still not boiling yet, so that's not going to be accurate either. But that'll keep my mind on it still. All right, now last sun-dried tomato here. You know what's always funny? If somebody else cooked this, they would definitely have done all this stuff in advance. And they would have had us thinking it takes like 30 minutes to cook this, and then we would be at home trying to cook it. Like, why is it taking 3 hours or an hour? So I'm adding that to my onions and my garlic in my, pan here. And I'm going to add also some of this organic baby spinach, but first I'm going to rip that up so it can wilt in there. I gotta rinse my spinach off. Sorry, I didn't do that before I got on
here. She said she learned he was a jerk.
She learned he was a jerk. Did everybody else know that though beforehand? Were you one of those people who we have a tendency to see red flags and we think it's Six Flags?
Right.
Were you one of those people? Did you see red flags?
I saw red flags in my past relationships, and
you still were like, "Oh, Six Flags,
right?
We could work it out together." All that stuff, yeah. Definitely done that. Been there. Let's put all this down the garbage before we go further. Are you that close to my face, really, or is it just?
Don't look that close.
I mean, it feels really close. Like I was about to kiss y'all for a second, but yeah. So yeah, I definitely have done that in the past even with my marriage. No shade to my ex or anything, but I definitely we called the wedding off the night before. If you call it off the night before, you can at least wait a couple of weeks before y'all decide if you're going to go through with this thing and keep it moving. I'm just saying. Now, this is where I sneak in vegetables to my child. She'll eat vegetables anyway for real, but it's way easier if I sneak them into her food, like pasta and stuff like that. So, spinach cooks down to nothingness. So rinse off my spinach. I'm going to add in some Kangen water because I saw you can use that to cook with
That's
and
from that guy,
everything.
right? What's that guy name?
The Kangen water is from Eugene Bread Lot. Look him up if you haven't. He has great motivational, posts and input and great information and resources that he provides. But he also has the Kangen water, which is great. Did I tell you about Travis's thing about the allergies? No, I don't know much about it, so maybe I shouldn't speak on it until we can get him to come in. But the Kangen water, though, is supposed to be really good for detoxing, for energy, for a variety of things. I don't want to misspeak, so definitely check out his page. His name is Eugene Lott, Lott. And he has, like I said, some really great resources, great information. Positive person to follow. All right, so I ripped up my spinach a little bit because I don't know about you, but I hate when I'm eating something and there's like huge pieces of spinach in there, like leaves, stems. Do you hate that?
No, I don't.
You don't mind that? Mm-mm. So when you make like sauteed spinach, do you rip it up or do you just leave it whole?
I usually leave it whole.
Well, look at you there, living on the edge.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to add my spinach now to my pan here. I probably should have done the spinach part last, but it's going to work fine. Just because I can't see the bottom, but I need to cook this down, so my spinach has to keep going. Let's check on my pasta. It's not a rolling boil, but so on a ghetto note, do you think I can throw one of these pieces of pasta up against the wall, and if it sticks, that means it's done? Or do you think that only works with box pasta?
I thought it worked with real pasta, fresh pasta like that.
Oh, I mean, I'm just asking because, like, when I learned that, I was definitely using box pasta for everything. So I'm not sure. This looks done, though, to me.
Taste one.
You can taste one. I don't eat raw pasta. I mean, pasta.
You said it looked done, but then you're going to tell me it's raw.
I don't eat while I cook, I mean. Like, I don't eat boiled pasta, plain pasta. That's something my mama made me butter pasta for as a kid or something. Mm-hmm. Your mother did not make you butter pasta as a kid.
Yeah, butter pasta and stuff.
I didn't even know how to make butter pasta till like a month ago. I was like, well, what goes in it?
Butter. Maybe some salt and pepper.
Well, no, the recipe I found had me add cheese. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I added cheese.
What kind of cheese? Like Parmesan?
Yeah, I think it was Parmesan. Some grated Parmesan. So I think I was supposed to add the spinach last, but like I said, I went ahead and put it in so it can wilt down. I'm going to add a little bit of the Kangen water so that it can absorb in. And oops, that splashed a little bit. Let that cook down though. And then I'll add the coconut milk.
It smells good.
It really does, right? Mm. Oh, you can't smell through the phone, huh?
Right. That's
the sucky part. I always wondered when they used to be on TV, like, it smells so good. If y'all could just smell this, get in there. Did you see it? Get in there. Mm-hmm. You got to do that stance with it. All right, so I think our pasta's done. So I'm about to go ahead and strain that. I think I have another strainer though, because I don't want to have to use that colander there. Let's use this colander. Now, some people say this is a great moment to, get a steam facial. I say that's never good. Like, who wants their face just, yeah, hold on. So I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. All the plumber friends can check in and tell me what they think of that, but I do not put shells and all that in my trash or skin in my trash and stuff, it goes down the garbage disposal. Because why would you want to keep that in your house? Answer me if you have an answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you do that? Take your stuff right out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Helen says she loves pasta with butter.
With just butter?
Yeah.
Does she also eat, what do you call it, macaroni and cheese as a side dish? Don't tell me anything like that.
You mean as a meal?
As a meal, yeah, instead of a side dish. Exactly. So, if I catch her doing that, it's a problem. Okay.
Do that on Thanksgiving time. You can be having a whole plate of mac and cheese.
But that's not a whole meal. That's just your portion control is out of whack.
Right.
Because it's not a whole meal. Still. All right. So does everybody shock their pasta, or is it just me? If you don't, I'll tell you what that is. I put cold water on my pasta after I drain it so that my pasta doesn't keep cooking. Because I also don't like overcooked pasta. So, yeah.
That's wild though, cause mac and cheese.
What?
Where I work, they have that as like a meal.
As a main entree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do they? How do they come up with that concept for it to be a meal?
So I've heard.
I've actually made it though.
You said
I've made it, but I've made it with other stuff though. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll do the mac and cheese,
and
but I have
just
like
go against the grain and
I have like
food to go with
Yeah.
it.
But I still try to. I was like, let me see how this look. So I did like mac and cheese one day with like stewed tomatoes. Yeah.
That was the whole meal?
And I added like some garlic bread, like garlic breadsticks.
That's such a horrible meal.
Yeah, I didn't like how it was combined. So I didn't do that again.
People in the chat, if anybody was to bring you.
Helen said that's her whole meal. She said
what?
She do.
Macaroni and cheese?
Mm-hmm.
What if they brought you stewed tomatoes also?
But actually eating it together is a good combination.
What do you mean?
Because it's sweet.
What is?
Stewed tomatoes.
Who eats stewed tomatoes?
Older people. That's what I'm serving.
How old? Because I feel like I'm getting to that
They're like
age. Am I
70,
old?
80s,
Should I start
man.
trying it?
They're like 70, 80s.
I like prunes. Is that enough? I like prunes.
Yeah.
Those are good. Is that sufficient? Do I have to eat both?
Prunes.
Oh, I gotta shake this up. You gotta shake up any coconut milk you get, or oat milk, any of that stuff. But I don't really drink cow's milk. That's why I'm doing coconut milk. I do oat milk or something like that, but I don't do cow's milk because I can't comprehend drinking some baby's food. Like, I'm just saying.
What about organic milk?
This is organic coconut milk.
You want to do organic whole milk?
Cow's milk?
It's organic.
Well, again, I don't.
It's
like
better than the regular.
Fact that I'm drinking somebody's food. Like, it's not. It's made for a baby to drink it, right? Like a cow baby.
I only drink milk from eating cereal.
Huh?
I said I only drink milk when I'm eating cereal.
Me too, but when I eat cereal, I use oat milk. So I added in the coconut milk. Do you want to get a shot now? Like, I don't know. Added in the coconut milk, and I'm adding in the Parmesan flakes or shaved Parmesan. And we're going to let this become a sauce more so. And I believe I'm going to add a little bit of flour and water so that it can thicken up. You feel me?
You ever what is hominy? You ever ate hominy?
Hominy is like grits. It's like grits. But I think it's a little thicker.
Okay. Yeah, that was random, but
That was very random. And that's okay. Because part of a lavish conversation is that it can sometimes be a little random. Like the fact that our guest didn't come today and we still had to cook because we got to eat lunch. You know what I'm saying?
facts.
That's going to happen. We're going to eat. Before we do anything else, we're going to eat a tea up in this PEA.
What is that right there?
This is whole wheat unbleached flour.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just adding a little bit of flour and water to thicken up my sauce. You know, so look, you see how your sauce is all thin? Everybody don't know this, Chris. So you see how the sauce is all thin and everything, and you got your cheese separated out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now when we add our little bit of warm water and our I didn't even need this much flour. Our warm water with our flour. That's enough right there. You see that? That little bit?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get a fork out or a whisk. We have whisks. Whisks. So we're going to whisk that up a little bit. And then we're going to add it in there. Like such there. And then we're going to whisk that together. Okay? And that should thicken it right up there as you let it cook a little bit. Is this looking Tuscan-y?
Mm-hmm.
Tuscanish? My cheese is still melting in there. Slowly but surely. I might have to add some more flour because it looks like it didn't thicken it right up. Huh.
We're supposed to simmer a little bit, a little thicken up.
Yes. Yes, it is, Chris. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. She said you should make some bread.
She loved bread, like Oprah. That woman loved bread. Tell her she Versace, not Oprah.
Well, she said when I was a baby, I couldn't drink whole milk.
Oh, really? So what did they do?
Mm-hmm.
Because back then there wasn't any oat milk.
She said hominies, grits.
Told you. You know, I went to school in the South. There.
Yeah, that's where you almost got abducted by the aliens. Remember? You told me.
I did. I did. Almost. Not quite. I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
No kicking. That's why I tell you tomorrow is not promised. Because had them aliens got me in Selma, like they tried to, it would be curtains.
You gotta tell people that story one day.
One day, when they're ready. I don't know if the people are ready. Is my pasta done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Chris didn't want to taste the pasta on camera because he didn't want to hurt my feelings. Shame the family name.
Oh, she said I had to have carnation milk mixed with formula.
Sounds like you were just being bougie. That's what it sounds like. Like you were just a bougie baby. Like, call me Versace. Doesn't that sound like her? I'm just saying.
She ain't bougie though at all.
She definitely is a little bougie.
She is a little bougie.
She's a little bougie. She's the reason that these are the glasses that you drink out of in my home. Mika. Yes, you can only drink this much at a time, but you have to still drink out of this glass just because it kind of gives that it completes the visit. Yeah, so you're still didn't thicken up enough. So I do need to add a little bit more, I think. Because I want it a little thicker than that. I mean, it did thicken it up some, but I want it thicker than that. And I'm gonna add the shrimp and stuff back in.
What y'all doing for Thanksgiving?
Me? The same thing you're doing. You're not coming to my you're not gonna be with me on Thanksgiving?
I didn't know what was going on.
I don't know what's going on, but you'll be there, won't you?
I don't know.
Hey, stop playing with me, Chris.
I gotta work for 4 hours.
Be violent so bad. You have to work every Thanksgiving, Chris.
This for 4 hours that day. I ain't gonna be there the whole day.
Yeah, you go work and then you come hang with us, right?
I gotta go get some food from Miss Pete. She cooking, so we can get trays.
Who is Miss Pete?
You ever talk about Miss Pete?
Who? Your godmom?
She's not a real godmama, but
isn't she the one that makes the cake, the caramel
apple cake?
Caramel apple cake.
I gave her that idea. I told her to make that cake.
So hold on, let me squeeze it.
That cake bomb.
I haven't tasted it because you ate the whole cake last year.
She's making me one this year.
So
I'm going out there to pick it up.
We'll see if we can make it to get some this time.
She's making it Thanksgiving. She said, I'm making you a cake, baby, but come get it. I'll be like, all right.
How many of y'all got people making y'all whole cakes, though?
I share it, though. I don't keep it for myself.
Do you share it, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have video footage of you sharing this cake?
I have evidence.
What type of evidence?
I have people who can vouch for me.
People who are willing to lie for you? I'm just asking. All right, so we are adding more of the why. He is not supposed to be in here. We do not encourage that behavior. Get out, be gone. Muy rápido, por favor. Okay, there we go. Now we got a sauce thickening up. This is how we like to see it. You know what I'm saying? Now I can start adding in my seafood again. You see that thickening?
Mm-hmm. You know what I like making now? Lentil soups.
Lentil soups?
But
I like making different soups anyway. I
like doing it now because I be doing it. You can do anything with that joint. I be putting everything in there.
In lentil soup?
Yeah.
What you put in it?
I put like tomatoes, the peppers, the beef, pork. Like
that sounds pretty good.
Onions. They're gonna be colorful. I don't know what be good too.
There's nothing like a good colorful meal, I must say.
But you slice it with that with the beef and the meats, and you put in there and add some spice. Ooh.
Lentils are a very flavorful meal anyway.
I put some what's the name in the other day? Some barley, lentil and barley.
Some barley.
Girl.
All right. Now it looks like we are all done. We just gotta.
Thank you. I need to make this for the residents.
Really? You got time like that?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I would do chicken though.
All right, I'm gonna let it still be on low because I like for my stuff to, infuse.
Mm.
So, but I guess I should go ahead and fix your plate, huh, Chris?
Yeah.
Your payment for all the work you did.
Need a taste tester.
Shout out to the taste tester. Let's wipe off his plate, make sure it doesn't have any dust on it or anything. We're going to put a little pasta. Chris, you are the funniest camera person ever with your recording while you're looking the other way. And everything else. We're going to make sure you have.
Look good. You know you need a salad.
You do not need a side salad. If Chris don't love nothing else in life, y'all, he loves a side salad, okay?
The salad complement the meal.
Any meal. All right, we're going to make sure we got plenty of sauce on here, though, since I didn't mix the noodles in. Do you prefer your noodles integrated in your stuff, or do you
Don't
prefer it
matter to
like
me.
this?
Don't matter to me.
My daughter, one of my daughters rather, told me that she feels like you look poor when you mix the noodles with the sauce.
Oh gosh.
She
Who
doesn't
said
like
that,
eating.
Taylor?
It was Dakota,
Oh,
actually.
Dakota.
Yeah, shockingly so, right?
Right.
So here you go. And let's get you some things to drink. And I think we're all set. I hope you all tried this recipe. Don't say anything about the mess I left in the kitchen. I told you I don't clean the kitchen. And well, yes, I do. But I'll clean it up for her this time. Only this time. Let's not create a monster or anything. But I hope you all try the recipe. I hope you all like the recipe. Let me know your thoughts.
Gotta get them a good pick, a good view of it.
Let's get you a good view of this plate here. Let's get him a little Simply Lemonade. You can't go wrong with Simply Lemonade. Oh, you didn't taste it yet, Chris, so you can give everybody your reviews. Here is a fork.
Let me see. God is great. God is good.
And we thank him for our food. Bless the hands that prepared it. Bless the food, the body that's going to receive it. And get rid of any ailments, impurities. And may he not get fat or sick. Amen.
It's bomb.
Wait, he didn't say good. He said bomb. And I just want to be clear. He don't lie. He just would be like, yeah. That's all he would say, y'all. He say, yeah.
Oh, Mikey.
London, time for the baby to eat. Once Chris approves it, that means everybody can eat. So, hey, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. We're going to be doing more lavish conversations, but more interactive things. So, cooking and things like that with our guests. If you have any people who you think would make great guests, lavish conversations are conversations with inspiring people about why existing is not enough. So if you have any people you think are inspiring who would make a great guest on the show, please feel free to DM me, or you can email me at mika@lavishconversations.com. Make sure you tune in. Stay tuned for all of our updates. Check out the 640 Live podcast, like I said, on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock on wearegogomusic.com. And be the best you can be. Guess why? Nobody else is better suited for the job. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day.